Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Your Fearless Friday. My name's Kat, as you all know by now, and it's an absolute pleasure to be here with you this morning. Now, I know I haven't seen you for a couple of weeks, but I really don't think that you've noticed, to be fair. I think you have so much going on. One, in life, two, the beautiful weather, but three, the library of like the digital library in our support group is brimming with great ideas, great next steps, great support. So I know I haven't left you hanging with nothing to do. But saying that, it's good to be back and talking to you. And as promised, it's always we're going to do a check-in. As promised, we're going to do a little mini coaching session today that's just going to allow you to reflect over where you are on your journey back to life. It's always good to check in. It's always good to remind yourself how far you've come. That's really important, because sometimes we can get very stuck when the baby steps, when we're taking baby steps. Sometimes it's difficult to see the progress. It takes effort, right? We have to sort of really stop and reflect and kind of look back and think, oh my goodness, yes, that has been quite a journey so far. Look at the progress I've made. Look at how I am a completely different person showing up for myself these days. So that's what we're going to do. Do you like my hair? Do you like my hair? I don't like my... I liked my hair, now I don't like my hair. It's only a toner, it'll wash out. I'll be blonde. I'll be back to blonde before I know it. So I'm trying to embrace the fact that it's quite a deep, vibrant pink. But I haven't got used to it. I'm still at that stage where I walk past the mirror and I'm like, oh my lordy, what is that? So hang on a second, let me just let me know whether you like it or not. You do normally. You do normally let me know how you're feeling, so let me know. Hang on one second. I've written these questions a while ago. Yeah. Okay, here we are. So I can't actually see you anymore because I have this page up in front of me and I've lost you, so I don't even know where to find you now. Oh, Facebook. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, found you back. Yeah, got you back. Okay, so are you ready? So basically what I'm saying is I'm not going to be able to see your comments until after I've gone through the mini coaching session. So don't be offended if I don't respond straight away. Yeah, okay, let's crack on. Okay. Now, these questions are devised for a quick check-in, right? Where am I today? Where are my strengths today? What are the challenges that I'm facing or overcoming in this chapter? What are the baby steps I need to call on? Okay. So the first question really is to sit very quietly and tune in and ask yourself, how are you feeling? Physically, mentally, emotionally? Right? Have a little, maybe just sort of close your eyes for a few moments and take some deep breaths and just ask yourself, how are you doing? How are we doing? Get up to speed with how you're feeling, physically, mentally, and emotionally. Okay, and so I'm going to move on to the second question because I can't see your comments. But please, as you're watching this, put your answers in the comments, because then I can come back and I can support you in a more specific, bespoke way. So, so we're taking something tangible and we can work with it. Okay, question 2. Just what I've said, really. It's about sharing. Can you share any progress you've noticed in your health, in your well-being, in your general mood? Like, just share. share with us, because not only does that help you push your boundaries, and when we push our boundaries, when we sort of step outside of our comfort zone, it's we create a bigger world for ourselves, right? Our confidence grows, our world gets a little bigger. So I know it can be a bit daunting when we're sharing, being vulnerable with our share. But if you can find the courage to do that, you aren't the only person to win. You will win, and you're sort of shining a light for others to do the same, right? You're sharing that confidence of yours to do the same. So please share your answers. Okay, what aspects of your life are bringing you the most joy and fulfillment right now? So whereabouts in life, if we think about your life as different pillars, right? Our life is made up of different pillars. We have family, we have health, we have career, we have money, we have spirituality, we have education, we have adventure. Right? Think of all the pillars that make up your life. And then think about where most of your joy and fulfillment is right now within those pillars. Next question that I want you to reflect on. What ways have you been prioritizing your self-care? Right? How have you been nurturing yourself? Is a different way to ask that question. And again, think about it mind, body and spirit, right? Mind, body and soul. How have you been nurturing? How have you been prioritizing your self-care? Moving on. Have there been any challenges or setbacks in your recovery journey recently? If so, how are you dealing with them? So the question is, have there been any challenges? And tune it, because sometimes, you know, life is challenging, right? Life can be difficult. And when we're in it, sometimes we just put our head down and we just keep going. So take time to sit and reflect and learn the lessons. Like, how did you show up for yourself during that latest challenge? Because you're building layers, right? You're building layers of understanding within yourself, but you're also building layers of trust within yourself. Oh yeah, that was a bit of a, you think that was a bit of a curveball, and yet this is how I dealt with it. This is how I cope with it. This is how I showed up for myself during that challenge. Yes, does that make sense? I'm sure that makes sense. Next question, how has your perspective on life changed since you've come through the other side of cancer? Now, understanding that this support group is specifically to help you to gain the new perspective on life, right? To understand who you are this side of your cancer battle. You know, what life do you want to create for yourself and your loved ones this side of your cancer battle? Who are you today? So how has your perspective on life changed? Sit and reflect on that. It's always good to check in on that. Always good. Okay, next question. This might be question number 6. I can't remember. What goals or aspirations do you have for yourself as you move forward? Now, we talk about this quite a lot in our group, where we talk about your North Star. And the thing about coming through cancer is we lose that North Star for a while. We have no idea what we want from life because we have no idea who we are in this, in the early stages of this chapter. So this is a really great one to reflect on. And please understand, I don't expect you to have the answers to these questions in the moment, right? The kind of coaching session that this is one where you're going to really use your journal, where you're going to go away and you're going to reflect and maybe write on it, or get outside in the sunshine. It's lovely and sunny here today. Get outside in the fresh air, in nature, and allow these questions to just percolate. That's the best way forward with these kind of deep coaching questions. For question number 6, what goal or aspirations do you have for yourself? And think again, come back to the pillars of life, right? Think about your health, your vitality, your relationships, your education, your career. Think about it across all pillars of life. Okay, question 7. What are the lifestyle changes or adjustments that you've made recently? And think of this one in specifically to your vitality, right? So the question is, have you made? I mean, I sort of I was very directive in the way I asked that question initially, like how, taking a great assumption that you have. I know you have, because you're in my group, and it's an action focused group. So if you're in there, I know you want to take action. I know you're taking those baby steps. But have you made any lifestyle changes or adjustments to support your vitality? Is the full question, and not my assumption of how. Answer it however you like. Okay, question 8. And this one might be a little triggering, because this is one of the challenges that we face when we're going through cancer. If it is triggering to you, take the time to reflect on why. Take the time to dig a little deeper in what the trigger is, because acceptance is needed with this next question I'm going to ask you. And if you haven't quite got to accepting people for who they are, for how they were able to show up for you, then that's where you need to focus your attention for a while, around like the forgiveness and the accepting of people. Understanding that we can accept something, we don't have to like it, but we do have to come to an acceptance that certain people weren't able to be there for us. And it's normally the people that we held dearest in our heart. Okay, so question number 8. How has your support network, so you're thinking your family, your friends, even your healthcare providers, if you want to include them, depending on how far you are along that road, but how have they been instrumental in your recovery? This is really wonderful to think about. Triggering for some, maybe, absolutely wonderful for others, because it allows us to reflect and be grateful, right? To bring that gratitude into just into our hearts for those that could show up for us. And of course, depending on how brave you are, have you told those people how meaningful they have been to you? Have you told them how grateful you are to have them in your life? That's a beautiful thing to do. Okay. Okay, question 10. We're nearly there. There's only a few more questions, 5 more questions, I think, to go. Reflecting on your journey thus far, if you like, what are you most proud of accomplishing? So as you reflect over your journey, where you've got to today, what are you most proud of accomplishing? You proud. What are you most proud of yourself of accomplishing? Oh, it's a fab question. Okay. Yeah, coming back to gratitude, actually, that's worth another mention. And that is, how have you been integrating gratitude practices into your daily life? Gratitude is so important on this journey. I mean, it's important full stop, right? It's important in life. But on this particular journey, to find gratitude is really powerful. And it will stop you if you feel yourself going down a rabbit hole of despair. If you notice, that's mindfulness. So probably let's bring mindfulness into this question too. But when we find time to be mindful, when we find time to really tune in, then we recognize when we start to go down a spiral. as opposed to only realizing we're in a downward spiral when we hit rock bottom, right? So mindfulness and gratitude. But when you recognize that you are starting to go down a little bit, to be bring gratitude, right? Take some time out and just sit there and just bring your attention to appreciation of something or someone, and show that gratitude towards that. So the full question could be, how have you been integrating mindfulness and gratitude practices into your daily life? Yes. Okay, two more questions. And this will depend on how far you are along your road back to life and thriving, right? But so the question is, can you identify any positive lessons or positive learnings? Probably learnings is better than a lesson. So can you identify any positive learnings that have emerged from your experience? Yeah, that could be a difficult one to get your head around, but have a think about it. I mean, and they don't have to be big learnings, right? One of my learnings when I was going through it was how difficult I found it to be vulnerable, how difficult I found it to allow others to take care of me. Now, as the treatment progressed, you kind of that decision is taken away from you, from some of us anyway, because we become so poorly. We don't have the energy. We don't have the energy to do anything else other than allow people to take care of us. But that was a great learning of how challenging I found it, because when we put that forward into life around not allowing others to be there for us, not allowing ourselves to be vulnerable, that can change the trajectory of life, right? So that was one of my learnings as I went through it. Yeah, we'll leave it at that, because there were many, but we'll just leave it at that one. I think this is question 13. I have no idea now. Have you explored any new hobbies that bring you a sense of purpose and fulfillment? Now, this is really key, and this plays into one of our foundation stones, which is play dates, right? Think back to Julia Cameron's 3 foundational stones that we use, and it's a gratitude practice, it's play dates, and it is morning pages, like journaling. There are 3 foundational stones. So if you're at the very beginning of this journey and these questions you don't really have anything to reflect on yet, focus on those. Just keep showing up for yourself with those 3 foundational stones. Yes? Okay, so have you explored any new hobbies? Think about your play dates that bring you a sense of purpose and fulfillment. Okay, final question. How do you envision your life unfolding in the months ahead? And I want you to consider who you are today when you answer that question. So considering your newfound perspective, like understanding that we're not the same person we were going into our cancer battle. If you've been taking the consistent baby steps, you're getting a really good picture of who you are today and appreciating who you are today. So from that place, from that space in your heart of who you are today, how do you envision your life unfolding in the next months and years ahead? Think about your North Star, right? Think about that beautiful picture that you have for yourself. And if you don't have it yet, go back and look at some other videos, because I'm sure there are videos there where I talk you through the basics of how to, or maybe I don't, maybe that, I don't. I think that's in our online group program that doesn't have to cost you anything either, apart from your time and energy and showing up if you don't have the financial resources available to you right now. So the next one of those is coming up in the autumn, so it's a little way away. So just play with this question. How do you envision your life unfolding in the months ahead? Think about your North Star. Think about where you want to do, where you want to be, who you want to be, how you want to show up for yourself, right? Who's around you? How are you spending your time? Who are you spending it with? All those kind of beautiful questions. Okay, that is it. Hopefully, that little set of questions has provided like that supportive space to reflect, right? It's all about reflection and acknowledging your resilience, your vibrancy, and that you're fulfilling, you're taking purposeful steps, like those baby steps. They're purposeful, they're inspired, right? So you're creating that fulfilling life for yourself in this next chapter. Right, let me come back so I can see if there's any comments. Okay, well, on that happy note, I am going to say goodbye. Have a fabulous weekend. Any questions, just put them in the comments, because I will definitely come back to answer these for you and to help you find some clarity, right? If you're getting stuck, again, put it in the comments and I will come back and we'll do like a little laser focus for you to help you move forward. Okay, my friends, enjoy your week and I'll see you again soon.